Kansas, Senator Roger Marshall, he's on the Homeland Security and Budget Committees. He voted against the latest foreign aid package in the Senate. Senator, the fireworks seem to be in the House regarding the government shutdown. Friday's the deadline. Are we going to see another one, another shutdown?
I think it's very possible. I think at this point, the best that conservative Republicans can hope for, though, is some type of a continuing resolution that goes really the rest of the fiscal year. That would result in cutting the budget by about 1%, the discretionary spending. Medicare, Social Security left alone, but 1% cut would result in about $100 billion of savings. So that's what I would suggest the Speaker do, is give us that continuing resolution through the rest of the fiscal year, jam the Senate with it, and then leave and see what happens.
Some are suggesting that this speaker could lose his job over these negotiations the way Speaker McCarthy did.
I'm sure that is possible. I think that if he caves into the Democrats, he will lose his job. And that's why I think that conservatives are saying the best outcome is this long, continuous resolution, which would fund the government, give some certainty through the end of this year. That will be the best cuts that we can hope for at this point in time. And then we can get on to other issues such as securing the border.
We noted in the introduction that you voted against the foreign aid package the last time it was presented. I want to put up this New York Post headline specifically regarding aid to Ukraine. It says that a November 29th report by the American Enterprise Institute found that approximately $60 billion of the $68 billion in military and other assistance approved by Congress since Russia invaded Ukraine on February 24th of 2022 actually has stayed in the United States to build new weapons for U.S. forces, replacing older equipment sent to assist Kyiv. Do you have a thought on that headline, first of all, and does that make it more palatable to vote for aid to Ukraine?
Absolutely not. First and foremost, my priority is to secure the border. I'm not going to give any more funding to Ukraine until we secure the border. Look, we've given them $113 billion. And despite that, they're telling us we need to spend another $20 billion now to replace what we've sent over there as well. Our focus should be on a peace arrangement over there. Look, as you noted earlier, hundreds of thousands of people have died already. There's so many other things that Joe Biden could do besides send more money there. He could start sanctions in the banking industry, on the energy sector. He could shut down the ghost ships, 500 ghost ships from Iran that are smuggling Russian oil to India and to China. Additionally, he could open up American energy exports, specifically LNG, which will help drive the price of that down. That's how Putin is funding this war, is because of Joe Biden's attack on American energy. And don't forget, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Joe Biden's incompetence in Afghanistan.
The politics of this get fairly interesting. There's a New York Times opinion piece with this headline. It says, Biden is in danger of losing Michigan and with it, the whole election. It goes on to say that Biden will most likely never satisfy those most horrified by his Middle East policies. But if he doesn't do more to try, he's in danger of losing Michigan in November, which would almost certainly cost him the election. It is therefore a political as well as moral imperative for Biden to do more than simply decry Palestinian civilian casualties. So the opinion piece is suggesting that he needs to lean harder on Benjamin Netanyahu and be more on the side of the Palestinians. Your thoughts?
Well, the reason Joe Biden's going to lose Michigan is because he's anti-American labor. He's anti-union. These union workers realize that it takes a third less labor to build electric cars than it does the typical internal combustion engines. Biden's stuck between a rock and a hard place. He's really become the pro-Iran party. The Republicans are the pro-Israel party, and everyone is realizing exactly where Joe Biden is on this issue. But it's interesting to watch him being divided. I don't know what he can do to save the situation, but the real problem in Michigan, though, are those union workers.
Some have suggested the United States should send to Ukraine some of the Russian frozen assets, hundreds of billions of dollars in Russian frozen assets that were frozen at the start of the war. What do you think about that concept?
Well, I think it's something I would consider, but mostly we need to increase our sanctions, the banking sanctions I mentioned. We need to be shutting down Iran, shutting down their illegal smuggling of oil into China, as well as open up American energy. Those are things we can do that won't cost America anything and actually will help our economy as well. So I think there's other things to do, but I'm willing to take a look at that. I think it's something, one more piece of the puzzle. Anything short of us, more money to Ukraine until we secure our border.
Perhaps the White House is listening. Kansas Senator Roger Marshall, we appreciate you coming on. Thank you.
Thank you.